Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hudspeth joining you live from Agent Mastermind headquarters. But I have some great news today. We are with a dear friend of mine out of Arizona, Daryl Palmer, who so gracefully reached out to me the other day and said, "Hey, man, let's do a class together on Evernote. I use this thing every single day, and I think people are missing the boat by not using this free," and I didn't stutter, free system that you have to pay $0 for. And I tell you, it's just we were talking about it before we started this class, where it's just changing the buttons that you currently use and where you take your notes and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And Daryl, man, I appreciate you, and I'm honored to have you on class, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with us how to set up Evernote, but then how you use it in the field. And I was fortunate enough to see the PowerPoint before class, so some very cool stuff, man.
Awesome. Well, here we are, and
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, so I just so what do you got for us, man?
Well, this app is a life changer. I swear. I mean, I'm in my 50s, dude, and it's like my kids are like, "Dad, how do you use that?" So, I mean, I dove into this thing, and it is so huge, and they keep adding and adding and adding, and there's tons of apps that work with it, and it's just, I got an iPad a year ago, and this last year, I had my laptop with me 2 times in 1 year because I needed something else, but my iPad has pretty much replaced what I carry in the field. I don't print paper anymore. I have everything on my iPad, and I use Evernote to drive the entire thing. When I'm showing, when I'm at listing appointments, everything. It's the most amazing piece of software. Can't wait to show it.
I know, man. I'm excited to show it to everybody. And if you haven't heard about Evernote, it's right there on the screen, evernote.com. What I recommend is to not take notes, because you're going to get a copy of this PowerPoint, and I would recommend just to kind of, if you got to take notes, I don't want you to miss one little bitty thing, because there's so many very cool tools to Evernote that I don't want you to miss it. So if you can, just kind of hang with us, and then we'll give you the recording and the PowerPoint. All you got to do is connect with the loan professional that sent you here to get a copy of this, and we'll be more than happy to give you a copy of the notes, the recording, and all that stuff, and then you can go play with and sync up all your devices. How about that?
Yeah, man. Okay.
Sounds good.
Gonna get started?
Do it.
Okay, right. So as it says on the screen, you can remember everything because it's with you. So again, don't write this down. We're going to give this to you. But you're going to need to have Evernote. We're going to talk about Sketch, which is another app, and Evernote Web Clipper. I use a couple other ones, but those are the 3 I use all the time. So just a little bit about me. I'm Daryl Palmer, full-time agent in Arizona since 1986. I used to teach high school in another life. I'm a dad of 3, and they're awesome. They're all adults, and they don't live with me anymore. That's even more awesome. Woo! So, did I say that? Okay.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
The Evernote screen does not look like this because they change it about every 2 weeks. But at least it gives you an idea. You can capture anything. You can access it anywhere because Evernote syncs across every device that you own, probably, unless you have a flip phone, then it won't sync. So it's web-based. It syncs across your iPad, your iPhone, your Droids. It's the place you can find everything on the fly. So there again, it doesn't look like this, so I'll show you a screen. So anyway, you can capture anything. You can save your ideas, things you like, things you hear, things you see, because you can take photographs inside of Evernote. You can record audio files inside of Evernote. You can clip web pages inside of Evernote. Oh my God, it's awesome. So
it is. I know. I get excited about this too. I get so excited about it.
Okay, so it's a way that I keep all of my buyer files, all of my seller files from start to finish, starting with my comps, CMA, starting with my showing NMLS printouts that I don't print anymore, all the way through the final walkthrough forms. Everything's in my iPad running through Evernote, and people sign. If I don't use hello, if I I'm totally spacing on my
no worries, man. No worries.
Thank you. If you don't use DocuSign, then they're signing with their finger on my iPad. Finger, yeah.
So you can actually, so through this device, through Evernote, you can do all your documents, and they can actually, and what do you call it, DocuSign? I'm sure people know about that, and yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Everything. So
everything.
Anyway, it gives you its own email address, which makes it easier to get things into it. So it's not something that you have to own a scanner on necessarily. Okay.
And just so everybody knows, next week I'm going to do a Gmail class, and I'm going to show you some other cool tools that tie into Evernote through Gmail that I think you really like. So next week I'm going to show you how to get out of your inbox. I literally only have 3 emails in my inbox right now, and I'm keeping them there because I'm waiting for something. But I'm going to show you that next week that has to tie more into Evernote that I don't want to spoil it today. So take it away, man.
That's some serious stuff. All right, this is what Evernote.com looked like yesterday, so it could be different today. But there's where your download is, so just go get it and start it out later. So it'll look something like this. You create an account, use email address, use username, password, do the CAPTCHA, and then they'll send you a confirmation, and then you enter it, and then they're like, dude, here you are. Now you're Evernote. Okay, we're going to go flying. This is why Scotty said don't take notes, because we have to go fast. This is a 2-hour deal. We're cramming into 1 hour. So after you get it, you want to have the app on your phone or your iPad. I have it on my iPad and my iPhone. You can also get it on Android. Again, Sketch and Web Clipper down at the bottom. Those are your new friends. My new friends. All right. So
yeah, just to answer everybody's question on like this Evernote works with iPhone, Droid, iPads, tablets. If you have a wireless device, more than likely it's going to work with it. I don't know of anything that doesn't work with, just so you know.
Yeah, it's PC, it's Mac, and it's cloud-based. So you don't even have to have your device. You could be at Scotty's house and sneaking around and get on his computer and log into your own Evernote. Did I just say sneaking around Scotty's house?
you been sneaking around, man?
That's why they call it sneaking. All right,
That's
so
right.
how the thing is so big that you haven't even thought of ways. I haven't even thought of ways that I can use this thing. So again, I use it for every buyer. I have every seller. I use it to show property, listing appointments, every escrow, every contract, addendum, buyer inspection notice is in there. All my expenses, all my receipts. I don't take receipts anymore. I take pictures of them through Evernote, and they're in the cloud. Yay! So you can, document your vacations, and you can store any kind of document in an Evernote. You can store PDF files, Word docs, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations. Just about any kind of document, Word text files, can go into a note in Evernote. And then again, it syncs immediately across all your devices. So you do it on your PC, you sync it, put it in your phone in your pocket, leave, it's in your phone. Well,
way cool.
Okay.
So wait, what's the cost of Evernote? I mean, this is really expensive, right? I mean, this is an expensive
4-letter F word. Yeah, free.
4-letter F word. Okay,
yeah.
Free. F-R-E-E. Very cool. Okay, guys, it's almost too good to be true. It truly is free. There's no upsell to this thing. I mean, there's some special features that you want, but I've personally never needed them. I don't know if you've ever needed the upgrade. Have you?
I have the upgrade. I'll tell you why later. But
okay, cool. All right, sounds good.
It's free too.
Right.
It's $45 a year, which is
$45
free.
a year. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, there's 2 definitions of Evernote. So there are notes. You start with a note, and a note is any individual entry. It can be a note you typed, a photo you took, a website you clicked, audio recording you made, an email you forwarded. It can be a picture. Anything can go in that note. And then you store notes in notebooks. And notebooks are a collection of notes. So you think of like your notebook in school. You have your taxes notebook and you have your buyer notebook. And then inside your buyer notebook, you can stack notebooks together. So like clients. So you just don't have a huge, you'll see my inbox later, and you can see I've got a lot of notebooks. So you can stack them to kind of keep the clutter down. All right, so you got Evernote, and you're going to add your first note. So this is on the PC version I'm working out right now. So you go up to the upper left-hand corner, you click on File, just like you normally would on anything. New note right up front. You can also see New Notebook down there also. We're going to need that later. So you click on New Notes, and then this big blank on the right, that's your note. So you can hit a title, You can, in the body below, you just start typing, whatever. You can add tags. We'll talk about tags in a bit. But if you kind of look around, there's a WYSIWYG in there for, setting fonts and sizes. There's a highlighter. We'll talk about some of the buttons on the right in a bit. All right.
Yeah. So let me just break down what you just said, because I think this is important. So like a note is like a note that you would write on your desk. I wrote a bunch of notes on a piece of paper because I was sitting there with somebody this morning. The problem with that is the note is on my desk. If I leave, the note is still on my desk. If I go home, the note is still on my desk. I can't go retrieve it. Well, if you're, instead of pulling up Word or instead of pulling up Google Drive, somebody brought up, instead of pulling up maybe an email and emailing it to yourself, which is still kind of the same, this one allows you to take a note of any kind. You can actually, and he's going to get into a bunch of other options you can do inside this note and how to use it in the field, but I'm telling you guys, it literally, once you take a note inside this, no matter what device, say you're on your iPad, you take a note, it immediately, within seconds, is on your computer, your iPhone, your Droid phone, anywhere you have Evernote downloaded to that device. It's immediately all over the place. So we're going to show you some very cool strategies for when you're meeting with buyers and sellers when to use this thing. So that's the beauty part about it. So when you click on most phones have like a note tab, like I have a notes tab, and I always take notes in there. Well, my habit is to go right there, but now my habit has been going to Evernote, because if I don't have my phone with me and I want that note, I can go grab it because it's in Evernote. Does that make sense?
The cool part about it is it's more organized than, oh, I keep it in my email. Now I have notebooks in my email, in my Gmail account, and
yep.
But when I'm out in the field, they're not downloaded to my phone, and sometimes they only download like a week or two. They won't download a month ago. So I don't have it there. G Drive's great. The G Drive is clunky, and it's hard to move in and out of it. Evernote is so much better. I use my Google Drive for large files, video files, music files, things like that, because it's great for the big files. But Evernote is just seamless if you learn how to use it. And I'm going to show you in a minute exactly how I use it in the field to show property, just to give you a hint, so you can go, oh, geez. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, so I wrote in a note, Evernote rocks. That would be the subject in the note. You see over in the left side, right in the middle where it says Evernote rocks. That is my note title, and then everything below that is what's inside the note. Now, Scott, you said something about I wrote a note at my desk, and I hand wrote it. In Evernote, I could be somewhere, like I've done this in seminars, where I take seminar notes, and there's a workbook, but I'm also typing in my iPad, and you take a picture of your note that you just wrote, or the workbook page, and put it inside this note. It could be right below. Don't forget to use this for everything. You can put a picture right in there, and then below that, keep typing, keep writing. So you could take a picture of the note and have it with you.
There you go. There you go.
I've done that on, you're using a whiteboard or something, like in the war room, and I've taken pictures of that, and that's in my Evernote. Bingo.
Very cool.
Okay, so if you look up at the top right there, that's a drop down, or a down drop, depending on what part of the country you're from. I don't know what part where you say down drop. Anyway, those are all of my notebook names. So you can assign your note to a notebook right there. Bing. Scroll down, click on it, and then it goes over on the left side of my screen. Those are all my notebook names. Right where it says notebooks, you see on the left side, about a third of the way down, it says notebooks. And all everything below that are notebooks that I have developed in my Evernote. Okay, so this is a note again. There's a little paper clip right there. And you click that paper clip, and it'll say, what file do you want to upload into this note? So this is where you can store a PDF file. So if you don't have a PDF printer, this is how you get your PDFs into this note. So when I come back and I tell you how I'm showing property, this is how you do it. So you can put
here's a great question coming in by Dave. Dave, I appreciate this question. He says, the notes are stored in the cloud, not the actual device, phone, computer, correct. And that is 100% correct. So if you were to upload it into Evernote, like a Word doc or a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation, whatever you have, it is 100% in the cloud. If you delete it from your whatever device you had it on, it's still inside Evernote? Great question, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, cloud, baby.
Clouds.
Or as some of my friends call it, the clouds. I'm like, is that like the internet? I don't know. So anyway, you can put a file into a note, any kind of file. That's really bitchin' right there. Okay, so the button next to that paperclip is the microphone. So
What?
Yeah, so you can record an MP3 file inside of an Evernote. What?
Why would you want to do that, Daryl? Daryl, why would you want to record something?
Why would you want to do that? So let's say you're walking through a house and you remember you need to call somebody, or you're needed to, like if you're showing a house and you would say, somebody would go, hey, is this included? Or what about that water stain or something like that? You could make a recording, a reminder to yourself. Hey, do this, do that. You can use it for a to-do list. You can also set, you see right above my right arrow there, right above it, it says reminder.
Yeah.
Evernote just added recently an alarms. You can set alarms on notes. So you can tell it to remind you, and it'll ping you when that alarm comes up. So it's just like a calendar event in your Gmail calendar, but it's coming out of Evernote. So again, you can keep it inside this baby, and it's awesome. I'll show you how I use the record later. All right, so it's all about syncing. This is the key thing, kids, is you go up to Tools. Again, this is on the PC desktop version. All right, I'm not on the cloud version. Cloud version, of course, it looks different than they all look different, so you have to get used to them.
Correct,
but
I know.
This one is this is how you sync. So, like, just say I add this note, Phoenix Real Estate, it's a buyer's market, and I add it, and then I shut my computer off without syncing. Then I don't have it on my devices. Okay, so if you're going to shut your machine off, always click the sync button. That's one thing you got to get used to, so it's everywhere. So anyway, that's what that looks like. You sync it, and then this opens up. Second tab is sync. Make sure all these buttons are clicked. I think their default is clicked. Anyway, I sync every 15 minutes. That's the minimum.
I would highly recommend that. So what he's saying here is you're setting your how often it syncs, which means it takes it and puts it in the cloud so that it's available on your other devices. So you go to sync, hit the button, choose a little drop-down box. I think it defaults to 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll sync every 30 minutes. So you would change it to every 15 minutes. So every time your computer's sitting there, every 15 minutes, it's going to sync whatever notes you put into Evernote.
Yeah, so that's good because working behind the scenes, and you don't have to remember to do it all the time.
Right.
All right, so if you're going to search, this looks a little different. Let's see. Okay, so see where it says all notes there? Before you search, you can search across every note and every notebook in Evernote. This is where it gets really crazy. So it doesn't quite look like that. Right now it looks like this. Instead of all notes, they just put notes. Right above notebooks, right below shortcuts, you see it just says notes. They took out the word all notes. But anyway, it's the same thing. Make sure you click on that before you search. And there's a search bar up the upper right. You guys have used searches before, so it's just like a Gmail search. If you put quotes around it, it'll be that exact search. If you don't, you'll get other things. So here I put Phoenix Real Estate. And so everything with real estate or Phoenix Real Estate shows up. You see how Evernote highlighted every spot where it says real estate or Phoenix in this note right here?
Yep.
That's amazing. And right below my word type, all those notes right there, those are all the notes that came up in that search that have Phoenix or Phoenix Real Estate or real estate in it.
So this is the same. So like when you think of searching, and this is how I think of it, Google to me is the best algorithm on planet Earth. So when you search anything in Google, it gives you the answer of what you're searching for. That's its goal. Within a nanosecond, it's supposed to give you what you search for. In Evernote, it's the same exact. It's just as good. If you remember a word of a document that you uploaded into Evernote, and you put that word in there, it's going to find that word inside that document. Now, here's the cool part, and one that you might, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Daryl, if you have with the free free version, does it actually search the PDFs as well?
No. No.
Okay.
That's why you want to spend the $45. Because
45. So do you want to explain that? You want to explain, because I think this is important. So say you upload a PDF or a PowerPoint that might not be searchable, because a Word doc is searchable. There's words inside of Word. It's easy to search those. But a PDF has got, it's more embedded, not as easy to search. So you want to explain that?
So they have a premium version that I think is invaluable, and for $4, less than $4 a month. So come on, it's such a great tool. But you can search across PDF documents. Now, I don't see any PDFs showing up in any of that that's down there, but because PDF documents are locked. Well, think about it. All of our contracts are PDF documents. All of our, when you're printing your MLS printouts, those I'm going to print to my PDF writer. So I want to have that extra feature so I can search across it. Also, the ridiculous thing, I'll tell you about later, is I use Evernote to take pictures of people's business cards. And I stack it. You can see in my, on the left side, down in the feeds, I have biz cards. That's a notebook I have. And I store people's business cards. Well, that's a JPEG. It's a picture. Evernote searches across JPEGs. And if the font is readable, Evernote will see it, and it'll come up in a search. Like I took a picture of an attorney's card, and then it was my Evernote, and I'm like, oh, what's that guy's name? I can't remember. So I just typed in attorney up there in that search bar. Bing, guy shows up. It's highlighted on the card, which is a flattened photograph. That's creepy technology, man. But that's why you want the extra $45 for the year, because, dang, that's cool stuff where you can search people's business cards. Now I don't carry business cards anymore. I don't have them stacked on my desk. I don't have the sheet stacked on my desk. It's freaking unbelievable.
That is now. Maybe we'll bring. You know what? There's another one. I don't know if you know about it, and you probably do. But there's an app for Evernote that actually creates a folder. It's called Hello Evernote.
Yeah, I use Hello.
You use that too as well?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay, so Hello, dude, I don't know how this stuff works, but so you take a picture of the business card, and it actually pulls this stuff off of the business card and puts it into the correct category: name, phone number, email address. I don't know how it does it, but it's amazing how it works, and it works really good. So, and it syncs right with your Evernote. It puts a folder right in your Evernote account. So
yeah, right in your Evernote.
So it's called Hello, H-E-L-L-O.
I can do a little short video on that, Scott, and just kind of show it
on
the screen.
Post it on the Agent Mastermind page. Sure, that's great.
Yeah,
good idea.
Post it on Mastermind.
Okay.
Okay, so just on the search thing, we were talking about quotes and using non-quotes. You see in my search bar upper right, I have quote Phoenix Real Estate quote. So that's different search than the previous one. Now it only brings up things that are just Phoenix Real Estate. Hope that makes sense. It's just like Google. And so every note, again, that has Phoenix Real Estate in it is right below the word C in my See How Evernote highlights your search. Those are all notes that have Phoenix Real Estate in it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can also tag a note. Now, not to get too complicated. At first, I'm like, why would I tag a note? So they're descriptions or attributes for your notes. So tags allow you to group like items and make them easily accessible. And they're just like notebooks. There's no right or way wrong to use them, just however it works. Like I've got in my Facebook stuff where I use the web clipper to clip web pages into Evernote, and I send it into my Facebook ideas thing. And then I have tags on depending on what I'm doing, like house of the day, blah, 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 ads. And so those are other things. They're still going in my Facebook notebook, but they're tagged differently so I can find them when I'm looking.
Awesome.
Okay, so not to overbear things, but everything is online. All your notebooks are online because of the cloud, okay? And the only time you would need an offline notebook is if you're traveling or you're going out of range of cell coverage, okay? So you have to take your online notebooks offline, whichever ones you want to work on, if you're going to be on a plane or if you're going to be out of cell coverage, prior to you leaving the network, because they won't be there because it's web-based, right? So also, you can take pictures of your driver's license, your passport, passwords. You can encrypt text with the premium version. You can encrypt text in a note. So you can put all your passwords, encrypt the whole thing in a note, and have them there. You just can't forget that password that you make for your encryption because they'll be gone.
Yeah, so what he's saying is a lot of people get nervous when stuff's in the clouds and they go, man, if I put my login and passwords to all my mobile sites or all my social media sites or maybe my bank accounts or whatever, that if somebody gets into my Evernote account, they're going to be able to find it. So if they get my phone and they click on Evernote, they got the stuff there. Well, if you enter that stuff, all you got to do is really quickly highlight it. I believe it's a right-click, encrypt, and then it says, what's the password? And you give it a password, and now you have to have that password to see what you wrote there. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool stuff. So also, again, like I told you earlier, I have my listing and my buyer presentations and my PowerPoints in Evernote, so it's always with me. And my iPad's with me all the time. Photographs of listings that you've been in or that you're taking, just take them with your iPad, take them with your iPhone, and bing. Again, I show property with my iPad. You can bring your laptop. It's kind of clunky. You know how that goes. So I love my little iPad. And you have copies of everything you've shown, and then you can send comps prior. Just have it in Evernote, have it with you right there in a file, and you can email those to your client. Ding, right there, right from your iPad, right in the house. Well, what are the comps? Oh, I just happen to have them here. I just sent them to you. No paper, kids. All right, so
no paper. Comps,
we've all done this. You're out to dinner Saturday night, phone rings, and then
no, wait a minute. Let me back up 1 second. So you're online, and you pull up comps from a website. And you got, man, I got to email these guys. I don't know. Maybe there's a share button in the MLS, maybe, or maybe not. But you want to share them, and then you want to keep a folder because if you're sharing stuff with a client, the more you keep of what they like, don't like, comment on notes. I mean, so what you're saying is I could do I'm drawing a blank right now, a Evernote clipper. It's called the web clipper. You can clip that listing inside of a note that starts a note for the buyer or seller, and then take notes on it as they comment on it or email you back or whatever so you can keep one conversation going in one note so that you can always share that with them and keep up to date on it.
Exactly. You can keep it all in one note. Or, okay, say I showed today, and I just make one note is today's showing, and then all the properties that are in today's showing, all the comments, all the pictures we took, and that could be in today's showing in that buyer's notebook. So we're stacking the notes in a particular notebook, and so the Smith notebook has yesterday's showing and today's showing and then tomorrow's contract, all there in Evernote. Yeah, and it's so easy. Sometimes you don't want to send them comps before you show the property, because they might not like the property, and then you're just cluttering up their mind with a bunch of stuff. So if you're at the property and they're like, we really like this, how much is it? You already done the comps, you can just send it to them. And I'm not doing exhaustive comps, I'm just doing a quick tax search in the neighborhood, and bing, there it is. I print it to my PDF printer, and my PDF printer downloads it into Evernote. Oh, it's so easy. Okay, so you're out to dinner Saturday night, you're like, oh, finally, I'm done working. Phone rings, or somebody texts you, and they're like, hey, we want to see that property. The one that has the long driveway tomorrow morning at 10. You're like, oh, crap. I was going to start drinking, And then you're like, all you have is your phone. And I don't know about you, but our phone, my iPhone is really difficult to look up MLS. It's just awful. It's horrible. So
too small? Just not enough, yeah.
Oh, it's just so small, yeah. So, but if I had that all in Evernote, I would have it already because it's stuff I already sent them, and I copied myself into Evernote. I can just look it up. I'd have the agent number. I can call them right there instead of having to go, crap, what was the agent's number? What was their name? I don't remember. It was blue.
Just share the folder that you've already downloaded before to somebody. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you
that
can
makes
open
sense.
up the folder of stuff I sent them yesterday to look at. Open it up, look at it. Okay, there it is. All the information.
Hey, people never ask you for the same stuff again, right? I mean, once you send it to them, they never ask again because they got it, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, I'm just saying that I have it. I have the ability to contact an agent on a Saturday night, walk out of the restaurant, make a 2-minute phone call, set it up, and then walk back in rather than spend the rest of the time scrolling through my phone trying to find out what that property was. I already have it. So it's in Evernote because I saved it. So, okay, it's all about habits, kids, right? So you never get the full effect of it unless you actually use it, right? Is that a duh? I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yep.
You've got to give it 30 days. Everyone knows it takes 21 days to make habits, so there you're 7 days ahead. So 30 days, and just say, I'm going to use this thing, and I'm going to just use it. And all you have to do is start sending emails into Evernote and copy it, and then I'll show you some shortcut tricks. All right, so is it secure? Everyone wants to know that, right? Evernote representative stated in a recent webinar, Evernote uses the same security when passing data that banks do. So it's just as secure as a bank. So another great feature is if you have sensitive data, you can right-click it and encrypt it. We talked about that, right? Don't forget your password. Okay, so toolbar. You can explore the toolbar. There are lots of options in there. We're not going to go to all of them. But remember, a note is a single item that you store in Evernote, and you organize them into notebooks, right? A notebook is a container of notes. We talked about stacking notebooks. That's just to reduce clutter on your, I have a notebook called Clients, and in the Clients is stacked buyers and sellers, and then in that is my particular buyer. So I have a three-way stack just to keep it less cluttered. I'll show it when it comes back up again. Okay, here's how you can share. You can create a notebook, and you can share a notebook by email, put it on Facebook. Every note and every notebook in Evernote, okay, this is going to blow your mind. Every note in Evernote has a separate URL. That's how they do this. Every notebook has a separate URL. So you can send somebody a URL of a note or an entire notebook and share it with them.
So let me just go, because so if you guys missed, if anybody on the call missed last week's, I'm gonna give you something that I think that excites me the most, because I like to be so outside the box it's not even funny. So do you mind if I share this strategy, Daryl?
Sure.
All right. So you create a notebook for 123 test drive. You get a call from a seller, right? And the seller says, hey, Daryl, I want you to come and show me why I should pick you to sell my home. And you're like 5 minutes away, right? And you're like, oh, crap, 5 minutes. Okay, how can I do this? So your assistant, partner, or you on your phone create a notebook called whatever the address is, 123 test drive, okay? You share the notebook with your partner who's sitting back at the office, or your daughter or your wife, whoever can help you, or if you got to do it yourself, I guess you got to do it yourself, but you share this folder. You get to the home. Inside this folder, you create a notebook, and in the note, you take a picture of the outside of the home and give the address, and at the same time, you're pushing refresh to update the note in the notebook, and at the same time, whoever's helping you back at the office is sitting there. They see the picture and the address, and they're creating this results in advance flyer, the single property website, QR code, text code. So within literally 5 minutes, you walk into it going, hey, I just want to share with you what I've created in the last 5 minutes for you to help get exposure and blah, 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 blah. How cool is that, right?
Brilliant.
You guys catch that?
Brilliant.
Because whatever you share, like if you create a notebook, or a note for that matter, you create a note and you start taking pictures of this home, front, back, side, whatever, and as you take them, they're being uploaded into this note, right? And if you share the note with somebody back at the office, and they're sitting there on the computer creating the single property website, text codes, QR codes, flyers, whatever it is, they're getting these notes as they come in because you've shared the note with them. Make sense?
Brilliant.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So, again, you're going to need premium, the $45 a year, to share notebooks, because users on each side of a notebook, if I share a notebook with you, Scotty, you can edit that notebook if you have premium and I have premium.
Correct.
You know, again, $45 a year. Come on.
Right.
That's
right. I know.
All right.
The one-time fee, it's one time per year, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like G Drive, but it's better. So you can use Excel rather than Google Docs, which is weird, clunky. I think I don't use Excel that much because I don't even understand it. It's way over my head. But anyway, so how do you get information into Evernote? Tons of ways. So you can type a note, you can scan it, and then put it into Evernote. We talked about the audio version. You can do a recording. You can email it, because they give you your own email address. I'll show you how to work that in a minute. The web clipper, I use that every day, 20 times a day, for saving things, saving comps, saving notes about our or articles about our market that I can share with other people. It's all there, so you don't have to go, God, where was that website? What was that thing? I put it in stats. My stats notebook.
Here's another great question. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is a good one. So, like somebody says, if you paid for the upgrade on your iPad, would it be upgraded on all your devices? Great question, and yes, that is because when you log in, the login senses that you are a paid member.
Yeah.
So, great question, Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with what devices you're using. It's just Evernote, period.
Right.
So, yeah. So you can snap a picture. You can print it directly into it. That's what I use. Auto import. Sketch is a drawing app that works directly with it. I'll show you that in a bit. Penultimate's pretty fun because you can write on your iPad. I just love it. You can drag it. Okay, tweet it in. I've never tweeted it in, Scotty.
I've never tweeted. You know, there's one that you don't have on the list, and it's called, well, you got a direct scan, but it's called Scanner Pro.
Yeah. And
it's a scanner app. It's called Scanner-Pro, and it allows you to scan documents. Like if you had a 8x11 or however big the document is, it allows you to scan the document. If it's sitting on a table, it only captures the actual document, and now you have a PDF version that you can send, or like Daryl does, have people sign this or sign that, or so you can. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with this thing. So it's called Scanner Pro. I believe it's $2 or $2.99 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a cheap app. I have it.
Yeah.
It's like back somewhere. I keep forgetting to use it because I have so many apps.
Yep.
Have I blown your mind yet? Are you guys like in mind-blowing things yet? We're not even halfway through it. Yeah, we are. We're more than halfway.
No, yeah.
I'm still going to show you how I use it every day when I'm showing property or listing property, and you're going to go, whoa, okay. So this is how you find your Evernote email address. This is on the desktop version. A little different in the app, okay? So again, I'm going to tell you one thing. We got so much information, but the apps on your phones and your iPads and your tablets, if you're using an app, it's not the full program. It's an app. So you're limited on what you can do and how you can edit things on the app. You can do everything on the PC desktop version, and you can do everything on the cloud-based version. That's when you log in at evernote.com. All right, so toolbar right there, click on it, and then click on Account Info. See my little Account Info box? And then see where down there it says email notes to, and there's apdaryl.evernote.com. You're like, crap, that's too long. I'm going to remember that, right?
Yeah.
That's my email address that Evernote assigns to me that I can email notes and notebooks into Evernote by just using this email address. Okay, so all you do is you go to your contacts on Outlook or Gmail or whatever you're using, add a new contact, copy that address, right-click that thing and copy it, and then make a new contact. Call it whatever you want. It'll default it to Evernote and your name, I think. But call it whatever you want. I call mine Evernote DP because those are my initials, and I remember me because that's my initials. And copy it, paste it. Now you have a contact. So when you're sending an email, all you type in is start typing Evernote or whatever you name it, and it shows up. And you can email anything. You can forward emails. This is how you can get big files into Evernote. Setting an email.
So what he did, just to kind of clarify, if you didn't catch it, this is brilliant, by the way, Daryl. I love how you did this. So instead of trying to remember my email, it's Scott S. Hudspeth, blah, 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 number, at m.evernote.com. He went into contact. So if you go into contact of pretty much Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, it doesn't matter. And when you put in when you add a contact, it says, what is the name of the contact? So if you're going to put my name in there, you'd put Scott Hudspeth. Now what he's saying is make it Evernote, E-V-E-R-N-O-T, as the contact, and then add that email. So you don't have to remember the email. You just have to remember that it's Evernote. So when you start to type Evernote into who you want to send an email to, it automatically pulls that email up. All right? Brilliant, by the way.
Can you see my screen? I'm using your stolen one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
So that's what it looks like in Gmail,
All right.
Okay, so here it is. I made an email, so I'm taking this national real estate post and I'm forwarding it because I want to send it to email. So you see right there above the left red arrow, there's my Evernote DP. That's my contact. I just typed EV and it shows up. Click. And then I'm going to show you Super Ninja thing. So this probably won't make sense unless you're using it already. This will make sense later. Later, grasshopper, okay? In an email, at the end of the subject line, you see the little right arrow, or the right circle, the little small one. There is an @ sign and an FB space and BIZ at FB Biz, right? See that? Okay,
yeah.
So that is at the end of a subject line in an email going into Evernote. If I have a notebook named Facebook Biz, FB Biz, that's the name of my notebook, okay? At the end of my subject, I put at whatever the name of the notebook is. You have to spell it correctly, and you have to have those spaces in there. You have a space in between. If you put that there at the end of that, when I click send, it will not go into my inbox in Evernote. It will go automatically into that notebook, FB Biz. I don't have to refile it. So how do you do this?
So what he's saying, just to clarify, so you can send it in. I'm going to show you next week how to make this like way easier, Daryl. Just so you know, I'm going to blow your mind next week, so you don't want to miss next week's class.
I know.
But so you can send an email and have it automatically go into a notebook if you use those, whatever the name of the notebook is. So he was doing FB-Biz, and it would automatically go into the folder that he emailed to Evernote. Pretty cool stuff. But I'm going to show you an easier way next week. So don't miss the class.
That thing is crazy. I just started to use it.
Did you try it? Yeah, I know.
My hair's on fire. It's like, what?
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
hey George Black, if you like that feature, wait till you see next week, brother. You'll love the next week's one. Yeah.
That makes this look clunky.
This is looking clunky right now, brother. Yeah, I have to say, yeah.
Okay, so if you look back here at my notes on the left side, you see my notebooks. I have FB Biz at the top, right next to shortcuts. Okay, so instead of, if you go down a little bit, my notebooks, and it says zero inbox. Normally, if you don't label it, we'll go just into the inbox, and then you have to go into Evernote and make it something else. But if you clean it up at the beginning and you send it to your notebook, then it's out of your inbox and in the files that it already needs to go. Brilliant.
Perfect.
Okay, so Web Clipper. You can save entire web pages, parts of web pages. You can get rid of all the clutter. It'll just take the article and not have all the ads and all the flashy flash. Or you can clip the URL right out of any web browser that you're using. You just have to download the add-on onto the web browser, and Evernote.com will show you how to do that. Then you can save it into the inbox or right into a notebook. Remember I told you I have Facebook, I keep ads up and then stats and things like that. I save them right into that notebook, right out of Web Clipper. All right, let's see if we can show you how I use this. So this is what Evernote.com looks like, Evernote Web Clipper, download. See the options for the browsers, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera. Who uses Opera? I don't know. Internet Explorer, see it's on the bottom. Is there subliminal? I don't see that word. Okay, so this is a web page, and upper right-hand corner, there's a little box with an elephant in there, right? The green arrow, see it? So you click on that, and then it opens this Web Clipper thing, and it'll say, where do you want to put it? So there's all my notebook names. You click on it, you can type a tag, you can type a little note, and then you hit clip, ding, goes right into Evernote. So you don't have to remember where that URL is anymore, where that article is. It's already there, and you can file it immediately in 1 second. This is what I got to be honest. That Web Clipper is by far the favoriteest tool on planet Earth. Like, there's nothing else. If you took that away from me, I'd probably cry. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm always searching different websites, and I'm a huge tech junkie, if you haven't noticed. So I'm on literally, like, I got a bunch of different sites I just go to all the time to see what's new, what's coming, what people are using, how they're using it. And I always use this Web Clipper to save it so I can refer back to it. And here's the cool part. When you go back into Evernote after you clip, like, say you clipped 100 websites, and you're like, man, I can't remember that website that talked about the Facebook custom audience.
So you go to Evernote, you type in Facebook, and it's going to pull up any note that has Facebook in it. You just really quickly go down the line and go, oh, there it is, boom, and it's there. So nice.
So awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to Droid real quick. I'm not using a Droid, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know
works.
if this might have been updated, so I apologize if this doesn't look the same. I don't have a Droid either. I have an iPhone, but I did update the next slide that has the iPhone on it.
Yeah. So you just have to kind of see the word notes. The notebooks are there, tags, places. You press the plus where it says new note. You can take a snapshot, audio. You can do it all there right on your interface in your phone. This is what the iPhone is looking like, and it can change any day. So when you can see your notes are there, your notebooks, you can hit those tabs and find things. Also, right up front, you press the plus for a new note. There's your cameras. You can take a photograph, and then the square rectangle. What? The rectangle thing in brackets. That's for taking pictures of flyers or paper or articles in books or magazines. Now, I cook, and I save. I'm a recipe horse or something. I don't know. Can you say that? And so I take pictures of recipes and that are in magazines and stuff. So I use that bracketed rectangle. I use that a lot, and I file it into recipes. Now the cool thing, just another thing I can use Evernote for, is I'm in the store and I'm like, chicken's on sale. Man, I should make something chicken. And I'm like, I don't want to do regular chicken. Let's find some else. I open up my Evernote on my phone. I click recipes, and I type in chicken, and all the chicken recipes that are in there show up from a photograph that I took on my phone or my iPad. That's ridiculous. So the recipe's there, so all your ingredient lists are there, and you're already in the store. You know what to get. Just another way to use Evernote. Okay, so this is kind of what the difference is of the photograph versus the rectangle. Photographs on the left.
Yeah, so when you go to take, and actually the iPhone's updated since that last picture. So when you go there, you'll see that when you actually, it's pretty cool. When you click on camera, what it has is you can slide it, just like the new iPhone update. You can slide it, and so if you slide it to the left, it's Post-it note. You slide it to the right, it's a document. You slide it a little bit farther, it's a business card. So it's insane what you can do with these things. And you'll get an idea of, like, they're just making things easier and better and faster.
That's a really good update, by the way, because
it's an amazing update. So in all reality, you don't need hello anymore. So I apologize, but you don't need hello. You just need the iPhone update, and it actually does a really good job at saving these into whatever note you want to.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Okay, so again, this is in the iPhone, and those are the buttons again. So in a note, we got a note here. Somebody took a picture, or this is a document. Okay, and then you can take another snapshot with your camera. You can click the microphone, have an audio recording inside the note, and then the share button for iOS is that upper right-hand corner, and that will give you options to email, share on Facebook, send the URL like we talked about before.
Yep.
Okay, so this is where we just about sharing notes real quick. We talked about this already, but if you're sharing a notebook with another person, and you want the other person to edit it, then you need to have the pro version. They need to have the pro version. If they don't have the pro version, you can send them a notebook. They can read it, but they can't edit it. So you can send anybody a notebook. They don't even have to have Evernote, because it'll come as a URL. They click on it and goes to a web page. Did you hear me? If they don't have Evernote,
man.
You can send a notebook or a note to anybody. They don't have to have Evernote, because it comes with a URL. You click on it, and it's everything in your notes or everything in your notebook.
And and I know you were going to cover that. So you can share anything, any notebook, any note with anybody, and they can open it. They just can't edit it. Like if they have to be a paid version to be able to edit the note or do stuff with it. So just so you know, you can share with it. They don't have to have Evernote. Cool stuff.
Brilliant. Okay, so there's that share button, upper right-hand corner, and you click on it, and it opens this share by email, post to Facebook. There's your Twitter thing, and post to LinkedIn, copy URL to clipboard. And so it copies to the clipboard. You just right-click into your email or wherever you're at, and the URL appears. So many options.
Now, here's a good question coming in. I know I want to get into how you actually use this, so I'm going to make this quick. So Helen says, I have 30, congratulations, I have 3,500 notes that are duplicated in notebooks. So what you could do is you can make all 3,500 notes one note if you wanted to. That's what I did with a couple of mine, because I had a bunch of notebooks that were a note here, note here, note here, note here, and I'm like, you know what, these are kind of old notes, but I don't want to really get rid of them, but I want to keep them because I want to maybe search for them someday. So what I did is I literally highlighted all of them, and when you highlight all of them, you right-click, and it allows you to merge notes, and so you can take 10 notes, 400 notes, whatever you want to do, and combine them all into one note so you can always search for whatever you're looking for. Does that make sense? Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, real quick, I want to get to my best part of this, but I'm just trying to give you guys an understanding of how you can share. So this is how you can share a notebook. You go down to a notebook, you right-click it, and there you can create, you can rename it, you can delete it, you can stack it, you can export it, and you can share. So if you click on Share the Notebook, then this comes up. You want to share with an individual or create a public link? What? So this is a public URL. An individual would just like, it would open up another screen like you're going to email this to them. So this is the public URL we were talking about. So if somebody clicks on that, they don't have to have Evernote at all. It'll open up that entire notebook, all of my recipes. I would never share that. Kidding me. So this is if you want to send it a note via email. It just defaults to this, and it says to subject, you know, you get it. At the end of this, I have a how-to. At the end of this PowerPoint, the very last slide, you guys, I have a how-to upload your Gmail contacts into Evernote so it auto-populates, which is very sexy.
Hey, Daryl, show us how you use this bad boy. Let's get to the good stuff. So, because people are, I guarantee they're sitting here downloading it. And they're like, okay, Daryl, I got a listing appointment tonight. I got a buyer's presentation, whatever I got to do tonight. How do I use this thing
Here we go.
to keep me organized and keep the paper off my desk?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Sketch in here, but Sketch is an app that you can draw on, type text, make arrows. You can use it on maps, web clippings, stuff like that. Okay, this is pictures I took in Evernote while I was showing. So the water heater had water damage. What do you think about FHA on that, Scotty, right? And then Romex.
Yeah, let me work on that.
Exposed. So I took a picture of it while I was there. I sent it to the listing agent, the lender. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a problem. Let's do this, fix this before the appraiser shows up. All right, so here's how I use it. So this is my MLS. We use Flex. Now, I have a program called Nitro PDF. It's like 40, 50, 60 bucks. I can't remember. But it's an awesome PDF manipulator. If you don't have a PDF manipulator, I can't imagine why you would. So I use Nitro PDF, and Nitro PDF works perfectly with Evernote because it has on a send button, it'll send it directly into Evernote without me having to do anything else. So I print, when I'm printing my MLS sheets, I print to my PDF printer, okay? I don't print to the printer, I print to the PDF printer, and I save it as a file in my buyer's file, okay? So that's how I get it. Then I send it right to Evernote. Now, it comes up looking like this. I'm in Evernote on my iPad. This is a screenshot. Okay, this button just went away on the update. I was kind of there trying to figure out what.
Nice, huh? It's there. It's just we just haven't found it yet, yeah.
Clicks right to Sketch, and I can take this thing right into Sketch and draw all over it, which is amazing. And when we figure it out, we'll let you know. Okay, so right. I can draw with my finger circles. I can put arrows. So I'm looking at, you know, days on market. I'm looking at, you know, if it's been, I can change colors with things. I can highlight, okay, that was updated. Okay, that's cool. So while I'm in the houses with the buyers, I can make notes like this. While I'm doing it on the fly while I'm showing it to them. Then you just click Save. This is in Sketch. This is one of the things I want you to download. Here it says New Sketch PDF Notes. Then it goes right into it. So when I'm showing, I found this has been such a great tool because it keeps people organized. It keeps them, you know, if you show 5 or 6 properties, they don't remember the first property, and then they get everything confused, right? And so I had some people who they couldn't remember the kitchen. They were just standing there. I mean, so I started using it this way. So I start out, I have them stand in front of each house that I'm at. In Evernote, in the note of my showing of all of my MLS planners I've got, okay? So I just hit the picture button, I have them stand in front of the house, and I go click, and then it's in the note, right? All right, I'll show you how I do this, right? You get the idea. All right, so when I'm in a note, I just click right there on the camera, bing, photograph. So what if it says washer dryer included? All right, so you take pictures of the lovely appliances. Now you know what color they are in case somebody tries to switch them out. Has that happened before? Yes. Or, you know, it's all documented. It's inside of your note, and it's synced across everything. All right, so what if I want, you know, the lovely patio furniture? So take a picture of that. Or if it says, hey, clothesline included. So, sorry. Then I take a picture of them standing in the kitchen, because the kitchen is kind of where houses seem to center around, you know? And everybody wants to know about the kitchen. And so I have them stand in the kitchen so they can remember, oh, that's original cabinets, or that thing was upgraded to the max. Remember that Viking stove, or do you remember that wood-burning stove? Whatever. Doesn't matter how modern it is. Helps them remember it all later. And this is what you're helping them do, is remember it later. Okay, then when I'm in the house, I ask them to tell me their thoughts about the house. After they've seen the entire house, I click on the microphone. Okay, my arrow's a little over, but it's right there, right next to save is that microphone. MP3 file, hits record, and they say, well, we like this, we didn't like that, blah, blah, blah. Hit done, and then now you have an MP3 file inside of your notes, inside of all of those photographs and your MLS planos in the same note of today's showing. All of it's there. So I can also add pictures. If I have outside pictures or something, I can add another document. If you like, blah blah blah. So you got that? Okay. So there's
absolutely. So let me just recap. So takes a picture of the front of the home, makes a note of the address, because they're not going to remember. You look at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 homes. Very likely, it's kind of like smelling perfume. You get to the third one, you're like, okay, what did the first one smell like? You know, so like it's not going to happen. So he takes a picture of the front of the home, takes a picture of what they like. Maybe like you follow them around. Oh, I like the master bedroom. Oh, it's got a sunken tub. It's boom, snap, 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 and then note, and then hit the record button. Hey, what do you guys like most about this home? Record what they say. It's part of the note with the pictures, with the notes, and you can share it with them. Right there, right then and there. It's done. You just share it, email it to them. Here's the thing. It's like so cool. You guys like this?
So there's 3 dots over there on my iPad. You click that, share. Click on share. I email it to them right there when I'm done with them. They have pictures. They have their thoughts. Because sometimes they're like, oh, we hated that house. And then you're like, wait, you just told me you loved that house. And they got confused, right? But then I'm like, listen to this. Is this your voice? No, it's not.
Right.
So. Right. Then you email it to yourself. You send it to them. It's in Evernote. You can send it to your assistant, whatever. Right there. I love my iPad. I love Evernote. It's freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, so Helen says, been on Evernote for 3 years. I found for business. I use Evernote, Sketch, Cardiva, DocuSign, Cardiva, probably didn't say that right, and then put a closed file back to Evernote. Best filing system in the world.
The best.
Yep.
So, I mean, we crammed 2 hours into one.
We did.
Yeah.
So, Paul, how do we do on questions? Share, does the client need to Evernote to share this? No, the client does not need Evernote. That's the best part about it. So they can see the pictures, they can see the notes, they can listen to the recording. They just can't edit any of it. So that's the beauty part about when you share the link.
Right.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, no, I'm on the Microsoft.
I'm standing here.
I'm on Microsoft Surface RT now.
I was sitting here talking while I was
What's
muted.
That?
I was muted while I was talking to you. I was going into a whole dissertation about the questions and everything. It was a really great thing. You guys missed a juicy nugget there. Seriously, though, as you were going through the presentation, a vast majority of the questions got answered. One of the big questions that you guys may have answered, I don't know, it kept coming up a few times, so I'm not sure if it did get answered. What's the storage space? What do I have in terms of storage space on the free versus the paid version?
So what is it, 60 meg a month for free, Scotty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking, where is it at? Window, format, notes, file, help. Where is it at? I forgot. Format, notes.
Settings.
Big question also came in quite just over and over. Guys, girls, we do record these all the time. All you have to do to get access to today's recording and the PowerPoint that Daryl put together for us is just contact the loan professional who invited you today. They can get you access to these scripts.
On the premium version, which I have, like I told you, it's 1 gig a month, and that's upload, download.
That's what I thought.
My monthly usage right now is 6.3 meg out of 1 gig. I've never come close to that. I mean, I use it all the time, and I've never come close. So it's not so much about the storage; it's about the upload.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So
now,
you get 1 gig per month, and then the next month it starts over again.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, the cool
somebody
part
said, what if I upload all my stuff to it? What's going to happen is you're going to max it out. What you're going to probably have to do is do it in chunks, and to get it up in the cloud. Now, I mean, there's some other things we could talk about, but if you want them all in Evernote, I'd create a folder and then just put every note you possibly want to in there until you reach your max, and just wait another month and do it again. I would leave some space so you can use the system, but eventually you'll have it all in there. Now, you could do that. I think the paid version is 2 gig, or is it?
1
I don't
gig.
remember. What? No, the
can,
paid version?
Yeah, 1 gig a month.
Okay.
I've never come close to it. Never.
Okay. Yeah, 1 gig is a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So for the premium, it says offline. Okay, so for the premium, here's a couple things you get. Offline notebooks. So like if you're like one thing he was going to share there is if you're going to take a flight and you want to work on a PowerPoint or something, and you want to, it's in Evernote. You just want to, like, it'll download to your. It'll of course take up space on your iPad, but you could download it and have it, and so it's not in the clouds, but it syncs with the cloud. Does that make sense? More in, more out. So what is it? See, $5 per month, $45 a year.
Yeah, do the math. $45 a year.
Yeah.
So one of the big questions that came out or kept coming up, guys, the slides that Daryl made for the presentation were directly from the web version. A couple of people have asked, is there a web clipper for our mobile devices, our iPads, our tablets?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a web clipper for
There is. Well? There is. What's it called? What's it called, brother?
Web clipper.
Is it called? I think there's another one.
There's a new one that came out. I haven't used it. I've just been using web clipper on my iPad.
Web clipper on your iPad. Okay,
How do
the
you
other
get
one
the
that I
web
was
clipper
thinking
on
of.
your iPad? Because it's on the mobile device, it doesn't give you that when you're signing in. It doesn't give you that option. Do you just navigate directly to the regular web service from your iPad and add it that way?
I have a little trick, and I'll do a video for you guys and send it to you guys. You can post it on the Facebook fan page. How there was a workaround on iPad because iPad doesn't use Flash, blah blah /types. You know how that goes.
Yep.
So there's a workaround, and I've got it as a web page actually, and it works beautifully.
Now there's a thing that I use. It's called Everclip. So Everclip is, I don't know if it's a paid, it's called Everclip HD. And when you're on a website, I think it automatically, I don't know, I'd have to go back and read. I haven't used it in a while. But because I'm very, for me, I'm not on my iPad that much. I'm more or less my phone and my computer. So, but Everclip very easily allows you to capture all your websites that you're on your iPad, but it's called Everclip HD. Everclip HD. All right?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I know I blew you guys away with info, but, man, all you need to do is just kind of work this thing for a month, and I swear you won't be able to put it down.
Yeah, work it for a month. You won't be able to. Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. If you guys are joining us for the first time, I know your last slide had where the private Facebook group is. If you want to go there. So right here, if you're joining us for the first time, we have a private group just for you. And it's for agents all over the U.S. There's about 3,200 and growing, close to 3,300 people in there. And the cool part about this is, guys, if you have questions that we didn't answer today, or you got questions about anything else that have to do with marketing, lead management, lady asked what printer should she buy yesterday. I mean, there's nothing off limits. The stupidest question is the one you don't ask. So it's just a great place to kind of collaborate with your peers, and the cool part about this is if you ask a question inside the group, it stays inside the group. Your friends inside Facebook don't see anything, so only the people in the group. So
I knew
just
muted.
to facebook.com/groups/agent mastermind, and we will graciously let you in and be honored to work with you and spend some time with you. And Daryl, man, awesome, awesome, awesome. I just love your excitement. I love your passion for real estate. I love your videos. So, if you and please be gracious to Daryl, and if you have any questions, he is a member of our private Facebook group. Ask questions there, and he can collaborate and answer any questions you might have. He's a busy guy, so I don't want to bombard him with a million questions about Evernote. So be respectful of his time. Daryl, thank you so much, my brother. It's a pleasure having you on class.
Thanks for letting me do this. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time. So, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anytime, man. I'd love to have you back. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your time today. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you use it. If you do, I'd love to hear your success stories, and we'll see you right here next week on Agent Mastermind. Contact the loan professional that sent you here to get a copy of the recording and the PowerPoint, and we'll see you here right here next week. Paul, thanks so much, brother.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.